meeting of Monday, November the 23rd, 2020. I have with us Councillor David Torgman, myself, Mayor Mitchell Brownstein, Councillor Stephen Erdely, Councillor Mitch Kajowski, Councillor Dita Burku, Councillor Sidney Benizri, Councillor Oren Sabag, and the staff that you can see on our screen. There are any questions, Maître Prévost?
There are no questions specific to the special meeting agenda tonight.
Thank you. So there's a request for demolition for an immovable situated at 5650 Westminster. Councillor Burku.
Councillor Burku, you're on mute.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. So, good evening, everyone. Bonsoir. Je vais lire la résolution par rapport à la démolition. I think this is the last one. Let me just see here. Okay. Whereas the Demolition Committee of the City of Côte Saint-Luc has carefully considered the application for a certificate of authorization for the demolition of 5650 Westminster, said application filed by Tecoso Inc. for the 9257-2445 Quebec Inc. Whereas the Demolition Committee has reviewed all submissions related to the said application, whereas the evaluation of the building has been determined at $225,500, whereas the applicant intends to landscape the land located at 5650 Westminster as part of its preliminary program and has thus submitted a landscaping plan for the landscaping work. Whereas the Demolition Committee has viewed the applicant's preliminary program and deemed it to conform to the City of Côte Saint-Luc's bylaws, whereas no evidence has been presented to demonstrate that the proposed demolition and landscaping would cause disruptions to the neighborhood that are any greater than the normal inconveniences associated with such a demolition and landscaping, whereas no evidence has been presented that the proposed demolition would cause any other undue prejudice to the neighbors, whereas all the procedures established by the City of Côte Saint-Luc have been met when considering the present application. For all the foregoing reasons, be it resolved, the City of Côte Saint-Luc's Demolition Committee grants the certificate of authorization for the demolition of the existing commercial building located at 5650 Westminster, situated on cadastral lot number 1052990, and approves the prospectus of the landscaping of lot 1052990, which will allow access on the property from Westminster to Guelph, which will allow pedestrian access on the property from Westminster to Guelph. That the granting of the said demolition and approval of the said prospectus are contingent upon the following conditions: that the applicant's contractors furnish the City of Côte Saint-Luc with proof of insurance which is satisfactory to the city, that the necessary monetary guarantee of $45,100 be obtained pursuant to bylaw 2345 before the issuance of the certificate of authorization. The demolition work must be conforming to demolition bylaw 2345. The present certificate of authorization becomes null and void if the demolition work did not start within 3 months after issuing the certificate and is not completed within 3 months after starting the demolition work. The present certificate of authorization becomes null and void if the landscaping work is not completed within 9 months after the issuance of the certificate. The hours to perform the demolition work and landscaping work are 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. during weekdays, and no work is permitted on weekends and statutory holidays. The lot must be protected by a fence only during the demolition work in conformity with construction bylaw 2088-9, solid at least 6 feet in height and completely opaque. The lot and the adjacent public property must be maintained during the demolition work and landscaping work. In the event that the construction site of adjacent public property is not properly maintained, an invoice representing any costs incurred will be sent to the owner. 5 days before the occupation of the street, the applicant must apply for an occupation permit in order to park or place equipment on the street at the cost of $100 per day, in addition to paying an application fee of $75. The owner will be held responsible for all damages caused to public property during the demolition work and landscaping work. The $2,500 deposit will be invoiced when the construction permit will be issued. This deposit is an estimate in case of damages caused to the public property during the demolition work and landscaping work. If the deposit is not enough to cover the cost of the damages, An invoice will be sent to the owner for the entire balance owed. All measures must be undertaken to prevent inconveniences related to noise, dust, pollution, dirty streets, and vermin. The lot must be cleaned of all debris and or material no later than 5 days after the completion of the demolition work. Should we say 5 working days? 5 working days, I think. The demolition debris must be transported out of the site and cannot be left on city property.
Moved by Councillor Berku, seconded by whoever wants to. Councillor Kajowski, any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to ask Jason or
Go ahead.
is it 5 working days is okay? Is that a good addition?
Sorry, if you could repeat the question, I'd be more than happy to answer it.
Oh,
The second to last paragraph says 5. Councillor Berku wrote, spoke at 5 working days. Second to last paragraph.
Okay.
It says 5. So it's 5 working days.
is that okay?
It seems standard to what we.
Okay. So I just added the 5 working days, that's all.
Okay. Well, the working part is definitely fine. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the resolution speaks for itself. This is the property at the corner where used to be the Rafi Garage, and this is the demolition request. So if there's no further discussion, I'll say moved and seconded, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So it's carried unanimously, and now I'm going to call for adjournment of the meeting. Moved by Councillor Torgman and seconded by Councillor Kajowski. All in favor. So we are adjourned. Thank you very much for attending this short